Hello, my name is Busisiwe Nomaswazi Bunene, and welcome to another installment of Precious Moments. This August Women's Month, we will be talking to women of substance. Thank you to everyone that has liked, shared, and subscribed to our channel. Please do comment, and also please follow us so that we can help our channel to grow. And one woman of substance that we are interviewing today is Noxolo Mbali Mdliva. Noxolo, welcome to Precious Moments.
Thank you.
Noxolo, tell us about Noxolo, your background, where you were born, where you grew up, your schooling, family background.
Noxolo Mbali Mdliva is a powerful young girl born with a vision to make impact in many lives out there. I was born on the 2nd of March 2000, born in Kalafong Hospital, grew up at Olivenwood-Bosch. Noxolo is one powerful child who was born brave. The schools that I attended, I once attended Walter Sisulu Primary School, and then I went to Impopoma Primary School, which is based in Tembisa, but currently it has changed the name, called PS Tsusanong Primary School. And then I went to Olivenwood-Bosch Primary School. That was in 2010. That's when it was established. Then I went to Oliven Secondary School when I was doing grade 8, but along the year I couldn't make it because there was a case whereby I was one of the young girls who were kidnapped from Olivenwood-Bosch to Johannesburg. We were missing the whole 3 weeks. We were just out by God's grace. Then after that I was taken by social workers into the foster care homes. That's where I grew up until I was 18 years old. That's where I could finish my matric at Winterfeld at DWT in Tata Community Learning Center.
Tell us about your kidnapping. How did that experience make you feel?
It made me feel very, very bad from the beginning, but after growing up and looking at the maturity, understanding the purpose behind it, that's where I could be empowered on my own to say, as long as I came out alive, I should be more than grateful, because other people after kidnappings, they are dead. So the fact that we came out alive, that was part of the contributions for being an activist. And to add on that, I also grew up as the whole 20 years as a victim of rape, whereby even when I go to the police used to undermine me and call me a 064, which is a code that they use that I'm not okay, I'm a mental health case. So my question behind this was, if I'm a mental health case, does that mean I don't deserve to get justice? I never made myself who I am. Nobody was born to suffer.
Noxolo, there's so much to talk to you about. I mean, I don't even know where to start. You wear so many hats, but for me, the hat that stands out is, your relentless drive and your tireless work, especially in advocating for people with disability. I mean, I remember you and I met at one of the events for 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. What is your involvement in advocacy, and how and when did it all start?
To be honest, it started from birth. It was just a natural gift. I think all these experiences that I've been through, they inspired me to drive and become more and more stronger so that I could help the next victims out there. And then as I advocate for people living with disabilities, I'm also disabled, but I decided to say, since I'm like this, let me use the power that God gave me, the grace that God gave me, help the next person, because other people, it's not easy to pass through such challenges. Many commit suicide so fast. So maybe God was using me to bring hope and create a suicidal-free generation.
So as part of your advocacy work, I mean, you're quite a sought-out speaker. I know that you even got an invitation to travel to the UK, but you couldn't make it. Tell us about that.
With the UK part, it was about being a nutritionist. It's a program for nutritionists whereby you were called from different countries to come and share the knowledge at UK Nutrition Conference, who's from where and then what are you learning in your country, what do you know about nutrition. So I was there representing the entire South Africa. It was a program that if we could convert to sports, it was all about I'm representing South Africa, sharing the knowledge that I know in UK, but unfortunately due to lack of funding and the expenses that were needed that side, I couldn't make it. So I ended up achieving that via Zoom meeting. Then that's where I was able to speak, express my feelings. They were listening to me that side over the Zoom meeting. And then the following day, we got certificates of acknowledgement. I was the only South African there, and I was the first speaker before all people from other countries.
Well done. And, speaking about well done, you were also honored by our president, Cyril Ramaphosa. Tell us about that. How did that make you feel?
That made me feel shocked and special at the same time. It reminded me of the story in the Bible of Esther, the person who was looked down upon, who even when he said prophetic stuff, he was not listened to, all of that automatic. But at the end of the day, who won the king's heart? It was Esther herself. So with the program of President Ramaphosa, we met for the first time in Kempton Park at Radisson Blue Hotel. It was the 8th of July, 8th of December 2022, where he was making awareness about people living with disabilities. It was Economic Growth Summit for people living with disabilities. He was educating the normal people that they should stop the stigma and criticism against differently abled people, because these people are too much gifted and intelligent. It's just they've got something little bit shorting in their bodies, but that doesn't mean they are not human beings. He was even making example that normal people are sitting there at home complaining about unemployment, eating 350s, but most of the things they don't know anything. So he was using example of powerful, differently abled people like myself, even confessing that as old as he is, I'm a mentor to him. He can't stop following me. I shouldn't undermine my gift. I shouldn't undermine my age. I'm the role model in million lives.
Talking about intelligent, you also an author. You wrote a book, From Victimization to Survivor. Tell us about that book.
That book is a book of hope. It's a book of restoration. I wrote it to empower victims and survivors of gender-based violence. Like you said, we met in one of the conferences. I decided to say, since God made me so much strong, I realized some people it's not easy to come out and speak out and share your story. So I decided to write that book to motivate people to learn to stand firm on their own, to understand that challenges didn't start by you and they'll never end by you. Committing suicide is not a solution. You need to stand firm and face the challenges. If you don't want those challenges to come to you, who do you want those challenges to go to? Stop complaining and realize that there's a story behind that. That is why God is allowing you to go through such situations. You are meant to empower the next person.
Noxolo, you mentioned that, when you were raped, you went to the police station to open a case, and SAPS were making fun of your situation and basically calling you a 064. It's appalling to learn that, the people that are supposed to serve and protect us are the ones that are giving, victims nicknames. Tell us about that. Tell us about that incident. How did it play out?
Like it used to happen every time when I go to the police station and report my rape cases. As I said, I was raped almost every day by different guys. Some used to even gang rape me because they were taking advantage of my situation. So when I go to the police station, police used to call me a 064, which is a code that they are using that I'm not a fine person, I'm just a mental case. But that is not okay, because my first question is, if I'm a mental health case, does that mean I shouldn't get justice? Did I choose to be mentally unfit? That is supposed to be a calling to them to say, let us make such people priorities. Do I know the suspects and all of that get the justice I need? But I feel like our police are failing us a lot these days. They don't really understand people living with disabilities. Look at even the current story of Kwekwe, how Kwekwe is not getting justice. That should all stop, because nobody is above the law. Nobody was born to be criticized like this. We all have to get justice at the end of the day. My disability shouldn't stop me from getting justice. As we speak, not even one suspect has ever been arrested. All these 20 years of me being a rape victim, I only get justice from God. Nobody was ever arrested. Suspects are moving every day.
And did you maybe try and take it further to to higher authority than just the police station that you reported it to?
I tried to even send it to Begikal at the time he was a minister of police. He never took it serious. Also, it was just a video taken when it was an Ibizo when he came to Oliver. Till today, he never ever came up again. But what made me strong, the organization that I'll never forget, it's called Tutuzela Care Center. That is an organization where they are training rape victims to turn them to survivors. They are very patient with you from day one. They don't just see you only one day. They schedule different appointments up until the whole year, trying to check on you and the progresses, how you are coping with the rape. If you are in a tough situation, you are scared of the suspect, you are not in a cool environment, they normally refer you to stay in the shelters until your court dates and all of that.
And your perpetrators, are they still roaming the streets?
Still moving on the streets. Nobody has ever been arrested. I see them every single day.
Sure. That is hectic. Ladies and gentlemen, you are still watching Precious Moments. My name is Busisiwe Nomaswazigunene, and I'm with a woman of substance, Noxolo Mbali Mdliva. And we wanted to get a copy of her book. Unfortunately, it is sold out. But as soon as she gets new stock, we will be the first to get a copy. Noxolo, there's also talks about you getting an opportunity on ACTV Stream Network. Tell us about that.
With that, I'm still waiting. I'm about to run my own show there. I'm still waiting for the directors to finalize the contract. That show, it's a show that I'll be running to broadcast and empower black businesses.
Interesting. So you were also recognized as a finalist in the Centum Women of the Future Awards.
Yes.
Give us more info about that.
Sometime Women of the Future program, it's a program meant to empower women in business. There's also two categories right there. There's Women of the Future, which normally applies to every woman from the age of 36 years above. And then there's also a channel for the youngsters called Rising Stars. That one is 18 to 35 years. It's for both aspiring business women and also young women in business. I have my own company called Forgiveness Hygiene Store. That's how I was nominated, since I'm a young role model playing a future in many lives. We are still waiting for the finalists to be announced. Judges are still looking. We just got confirmation emails and WhatsApps that we can be one of the finalists. We should just be patient.
Tell us about Forgiveness Hygiene Store.
Forgiveness Hygiene Store, it's a company that was established in 2021. I usually sell cleaning chemicals, toiletries, and everything that has to promote hygiene. It's all about cleanliness. What I've realized is most black people like competition with companies. It's all about just because my friend has a studio, I can also run better than him or her. That must stop. Competition is going to kill black people. I told myself one thing, let me open something new, unique, that is going to help others to follow me, not me being a copycat. And I've realized that cleaning materials and hygiene toiletries, it's something that is high in demand every day. Look how far the shops are. But when I'm close by, I'm also cutting costs for customers, because remember, we have rights, but rights comes with responsibilities.
Yes.
It is our right to live in a clean environment, but at the same time, it's our responsibility to keep the environment clean. So my company slogan is, cleanliness is healthy.
Wonderful. Yeah, when I was going through your long list of achievements, I came across this particular one, which I thought was interesting. A volunteer minister in Scientology. What is that?
Scientology means knowledge. Scientology volunteer minister is a free program that is allowed to each and everyone. But many people have got a wrong background behind Scientology because they believe it's a church. Yes, it's a church, but they don't force everybody to attend that church. They always write declaration on your forms that we are not against any religion or any belief. So it's up to you as an individual. It's a program that contains Tools for Life courses. Those Tools for Life courses are like solutions to our everyday program. They educate you about different things. For example, there's a part that teaches you how to handle conflicts, children, many topics more than that. They are 19. It's a free program that everyone can involve on. You just need to write on Google Scientology volunteer ministers 19 tools for life courses. They are free. Every module that you are done, you get a certificate for that, and then once you are done with all of them, you need to forward them to the Scientology department. Then you'll be booked a graduation, then automatic you'll be a qualified graduated volunteer minister. Most of the time you need to dedicate your time, volunteer to assist people around you. I also loved it because it also educates you that not everything is all about money. Sometimes you need to volunteer and help many souls out there, because when you were born, you were not born with money. You were just born with your hands like this, like a fist. So it's a reminder that don't always put money forward. Sometimes volunteer to do good, and money will follow you afterwards.
So true. I just want to read to all of you a list of some of Noxolo's accomplishments and talents. She's a public speaker, a Green World health consultant, drug-free world coach, volunteer nurse and paramedic, member of the City of Tshwane Disability Forum, in the transport portfolio. She's a ward committee candidate, corporate and shared portfolio. Girl, you're a busy woman. With all of this, where on earth do you get time for yourself?
To be honest, I don't get time for myself, but I believe it's all God's talents. God is the one who's giving me the strength, because if God never chose me, I wouldn't have succeeded so many portfolios at the same time. I really don't get time to rest until I see my community prospering. I'm at the heart of the people.
And who would you say are your main source of inspiration?
The first one that I will never forget my whole life, my wonderful God-given daddy, Mr. Jeff Boyki Madibeng. I met him in one of the conferences. It was a Chinese embassy workshop in Midrand in Galaka Estate. He's playing a role like a father. He's a father to me. Whatever I need, he's always there for me, supporting me. Even when I do wonders, he's always there assisting me, especially even medical wisely. If you want to see the real Jeff do something bad to Noxolo, you'll see his wrong side. But he's a great, humble guy, a normal entrepreneur in construction site. And then the other inspiration that I would like to thank, I thank Mr. Golem Isaac. He's the founder and director of Bonali Sedi Computer College. That college is based in Lodium. It's MIC-CETA registered. They are dealing with all different courses that are related to computer, courses like different digital ICT, social media accounts. They are dealing with IT and many programs that are related to computer, including basic computing. And then I also love Mom Beauty, Smangelem Timkulu. She's just a chef based in our location. She's running her own restaurant called Mnandi Catering, Mnandi Food and Catering. She's a nice woman. She's my open source, my open shoulder of support. And then I would also like to thank Miss Isabel Nkomo. She's from Zimbabwe. We were residenting same yard with her. She was also an open source to me, like a mother to me. I will never forget her my whole life. And then I want to thank Mama Claudie also. Mama Claudie, she's our learnership drive. She's our mother in the learnership that I'm currently doing, which is supply chain management, logistics, NQF level 5. Usually she comes to school. Sometimes, most of the time, she's busy with her business work. Her company name is MHSL Consulting and Projects. She loved me from day one. When we started, she saw the potential in me, and then she took me like her own daughter. Even when I'm going through the worst, she's supportive. And I also thank God for you, Mambi Sisiwe. I loved you from the day we met during the 16 days of activism. And then I also love Mam Faith Mazibugo, including our president and many more. If you want to see the full list of Noxolo's role models, they are there in the book, From Victimization to Survivor. It's there under chapter, I think, 10 or 11. There is a chapter of all the role models of my life.
Is my name in the book?
Not yet. But soon.
In part 2, in book 2.
Yes.
Looking back and moving forward, Noxolo, what would you say have been your proudest moments and not so proud moments?
The not so proud moments was this experiences of rape and the GPV, and the worst of these moments was the kidnapping. And also in 2 months back, It was the worst moment because there was a time whereby I had a panic attack in Centurion Mall after I met with my wonderful daddy, Jeff Madibeng. Then when I was waiting in the parking, I suddenly had a panic attack. Then the wrong people covered me with the silver cloth as if I was dead while I was alive. That was the worst moment. And then I went to Kalafong Hospital, but I was released and told I need lots and lots of psychological support. There's a lot of anger inside me. I really need therapy. I really need emotional support on a day-to-day basis. And then the other worst moment was in Pick n Pay. The time I was a Pick n Pay employee, people used to bully me a lot, but after realizing, having a self-introspection, that's where I realized that it means God was trying to show me that I'm not a person who's supposed to work for somebody else, because Pick n Pays were jealousy because of the gifts and talent, the real Noxolo. They ended up poisoning me on duty, and I was hospitalized 3 months.
Sure.
And then the nice moments that I'll never forget in my life was, the first one was in March this year, whereby my book was born, and in automatic, the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture and Recreation called me to go and open a library officially in Acacia. I was one of the exhibitors there, and then I got to meet MEC Matume Chilwane, the MEC of Education, together with Sports, Arts and Culture and Recreation. He saw my book and he saw how nice and short it is, and he claimed and said, Department of Sports needs to shortlist me under authors that will be funded, who will be put on the budget for the books to be sold out, because this book is powerful. He said it's needed even in high schools to motivate the adolescents and the youth. And guess what? By God's grace, just a week after, I got a call from the department and they bought 100 copies from me.
Well done. Well done. Well done. That's a good move. Okay. And also, as mentioned in my intro, August month is all about celebrating women's achievements as we commemorate the 1956 march, where approximately 20,000 women marched to the union buildings in Pretoria to petition against the country's past laws. Now, for you as a young black woman living with a disability, do you feel that enough is being done to address the plight of people living with disabilities, especially when it comes to things like work opportunities, inclusivity in places of power and decision making?
Actually, to be honest, that one I feel like it's not done enough, because even awareness on its own regarding disabilities is not meant. There's a lot of criticism behind, even on the justice and the power system, because if you look at even the ministers on their own, I don't see any minister with a disability. So it seems like disabilities, they just like to misuse them, because same applies to the workplaces. They don't give disabilities permanent paying jobs. They just like to offer them learnerships and contract jobs. When are we going to have permanent jobs? And when are the illnesses affecting people living with disabilities going to be taken seriously? Because the whole world, I'm definitely sure that you guys don't know that 26 March, it's actually Purple Day for Epilepsy, of which epilepsy is one of the disabilities. Usually they are asking people to volunteer every year, 26 March, to wear something purple to support epilepsy survivors. But none of that is taking place. But look, every year, 1 December, it's even televised, whereby we see people celebrating World AIDS Day. When are we going to have awarenesses with disabilities? A lot needs to be done.
And you, as you talk about epilepsy, you also epileptic. Tell us about that. When were you born with epilepsy, or is it something that happened along the way?
No, like epilepsy started me when I was 6 years old. It was through all these experiences of rape. They really hurt my mind and all of that. And then my mind was blocked and had some little surgeries there and there. It started me when I was 6 years old. From my first day going to school, automatic epilepsy began. But what people don't understand is, number one, what is epilepsy? Epilepsy is not a disease. It is a clear indication that something is wrong in a form part of the brain. And then again, epilepsy is a disability, because you'll never know when you're going to have the seizures or what's going to happen to you. And then again, epilepsy survivors, they are short-tempered people naturally. They don't need to be teased. They don't want to live under toxic environments, because automatic you will lead them to short-sightedness, and you lead them to seizures. So the first aid of epilepsy goes like this. Number 1, check the breathing of the person. Check the environment that they fall on. If they are on the busy roads like the N1s, some people are drinking and driving, they can easily shut them. So try to gather as many as you are. Do the manpower work. Remove that person from the danger environment. And then check their breathing. Also do the timing. If they collapse more than 3 hours, that is an emergency. Try to call for paramedics. And then again, when they fall, don't pour them with water, because you'll make the illness to jump before time. Try to gather as many as you are. Shade these people from the sun, because epilepsy is against heat.
Okay.
Then once you shade them from the sun, try to call them using their gender, because maybe it's strangers, you don't know them, or maybe they're not wearing any name tags, you don't know them. Call them sister, brother. Look at their reactions. And then again, there's 2 types of epilepsies. There are those severe epilepsies, and there are normal epilepsies. So with the severe ones, it's those ones automatic. When they fall, they bite themselves and all of that. Try to put an object and help them, because the minute they bite themselves and their tongue goes to their throat, they will die same time. So try to put something to prevent them from falling. And then again, try to do the box. Get a box or something with wind them until they are normal. But when they open their eyes, it doesn't mean they are normal. Wait for them to respond and see. Ask them, can you see me? Can you see me? And then also it involves memory loss. There are times whereby they don't remember where they are, when did they collapse and all of that. So automatic, it's important that you remind them, no, you are in Turinkloof, in Soweto, you came here for this and this. It's important because there is memory loss. Be patient with them, because the minute you pour them with water, you are automatic making the illness to jump before time.
Sure. Thank you so much for that information and educational background on epilepsy. I'm sure that is it will be very useful to our followers, because we in society, epilepsy is regarded as a white man's sickness, and unfortunately it happens to the best of us.
Yes.
Noxolo, where to from here for Noxolo?
From here, Noxolo just wants to see herself continuing to being a leader. I don't want to get tired until leadership is in my blood. I just want to see growth amongst even people living with disabilities. We had enough criticism already. I was born for this. Leadership is in my blood. I will never stop changing my life. I will never stop being an assistant in million lives out there. God never put me in this position for nothing, and I thank God for giving me all my inspirations who are playing a parental role in my life. It takes a village to raise a child. And my message again, I want to share it with the whole world. Learn to support people living with disabilities.
Can you speak to that camera over there? Because my next question was going to be, what is your advice to young people living with disability and those living without disability? So if you can just to that camera over there.
My message to the youth, whether disabled or normal youth, there's many ways of getting happiness. There's many ways of empowering yourselves. There are many programs out there, and most programs are free. Stop this thing of unemployment and all of that. What is making the youth to suffer most is because many of you are disrespectful. What I mean by disrespectful, somebody meets you on the street now and tell you to stop what you are doing, what is wrong, and then automatic you tell that person, you are not my mom, I left my mom at home. That must stop, youth. Respect is the foundation of everything. If you want to see that, look at examples like us. Look where I am at the age of 25 years. So many things, including being a stakeholder of South African Air Force, all these traveling international trips. It's all because of respect and humbleness. Learn to respect your parents. The Bible says every elderly person is your parent, and the Bible also says Obey your mother and your father so that your days may be long on earth. Youth, stop being disrespectful, and then you'll see prospering will follow you. There won't be any unemployment. The biggest trigger behind unemployment and all the things that are happening, including there's so much death rising amongst young people, is disrespect. That can be your foundation. Learn to respect young people, and then to the whole world, learn to support your children. Again, parents, watch your anger, watch yourselves when you are angry, how you talk to your children, because you might be the root causes of your children's disrespect. Remember, children are the fruits of your womb. We are what you are because of the choices you are making besides us. Stop fighting with our daddies in front of us because you are creating a wrong motive behind your children. Give your children enough time and listen to them, because many children are suffering out there, but you neglecting them emotionally. You are killing your own children. You are designing your own gangsters that will come back and fight against you. The Bible says, parents, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. Watch how you treat your children, and watch what comes out of your mouth when you are having your own stresses, because your words can stay in a child's heart and kill the child's heart. Watch what you say every day. Learn to also support people living with disabilities. Every year, 3 November to 3 December, it's International Disability Rights Awareness Month. Learn to support disabilities. If you can make plans to buy your moms and dads Father's Day and Mother's Day gifts, do the same to disabilities. Words are enough. Inspire them. If you feel like you don't have cash, you don't have anything to buy them, inspire people living with disabilities. Show them support and love, and make sure you are always there for them. You will see the prosperous generation. Support is everything we need. I thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much, Noxolo. You've said a mouthful. And thank you so much for your time from Atteridgeville to Soweto to be with us. We've got a little something just to say thank you for your time and joining us in our studios. So here's a little something from us to you, just to say we thank you for your time, and a mug where you can have your nice tea or coffee.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Your story inspired us. Your story motivated us. Your story enlightened us.
Thank you so
Ladies and
much.
gentlemen, that was Noxolo Mbali Mdliva. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. And we would love to hear your comments as well. Please help our channel to grow. My name is Busisiwe Nomaswazigunene. And I'd like to give a shout out to my designer, Umni Designs, Kutala Mayosi. So from now on, I'll be looking dapper in Umni Designs. Thank you so much and have a great one. It's Women's Month. Let's celebrate our women of substance. I thank you.